Life for Mind presents. Have you ever wondered why some relationships seem to crumble despite the love and affection present? Today we're going to explore that very question. Sometimes the reason lies not in a lack of love, but in the presence of certain toxic habits. These habits, often overlooked, can gradually erode the foundations of a relationship, causing significant damage. Picture this, a small leak in a dam. At first it seems insignificant, but over time the water pressure can cause the dam to break. This is precisely how toxic habits work in relationships. They may appear small and inconsequential, but if left unaddressed, they can lead to a relationship's downfall. These habits range from lack of communication to dishonesty, from controlling behavior to emotional manipulation. They can creep in unnoticed and gradually transform a healthy relationship into a toxic one. In the next few minutes we will delve into 12 toxic habits that can harm relationships. First on the list is the lack of communication. Communication is like a bridge, connecting two hearts in a relationship. When this bridge crumbles, the connection weakens, leading to a chasm of misunderstandings and conflicts. Without open, honest dialogue, assumptions fill the void, and these can be dangerous, often leading to unnecessary heartaches. Open communication, on the other hand, fosters understanding and trust. Two pillars essential for a strong and healthy relationship. Remember, communication is the bedrock of any healthy relationship. Next up is dishonesty. This toxic habit can rapidly erode the foundation of trust in any relationship. When lies and deceit creep in, they cast a shadow of doubt, turning simple conversations into complex mazes of uncertainty. The trust, once broken, becomes a daunting task to rebuild. It's like trying to put together a shattered mirror. The cracks will always be visible. Honesty, therefore, is not just a nice-to-have, but a valuable virtue in any relationship. Moving on, we have the lack of respect and constant criticism. These two toxic habits can be incredibly damaging to a relationship. When respect is absent, it can lead to a partner feeling unappreciated, undervalued, and inferior. This lack of respect can manifest in various ways, such as dismissing your partner's opinions, belittling their accomplishments, or disregarding their feelings. Simultaneously, constant criticism can be equally destructive. While it's natural to have disagreements and differences in a relationship, a barrage of negative feedback can diminish a partner's self-esteem, making them feel inadequate and unloved. This can eventually erode the foundation of trust and mutual respect that a healthy relationship is built upon. Remember, everyone has flaws and mistakes are part of being human. Rather than focusing on these shortcomings, it's important to encourage growth and improvement through constructive criticism, while also acknowledging and appreciating the positive aspects of your partner. In a relationship, respecting each other's boundaries and providing constructive criticism is crucial. Next, we have controlling behavior and jealousy. These two habits are like a noxious gas that slowly suffocates a relationship. They create an environment that is far from congenial, instead fostering hostility and resentment. Controlling behavior often stems from a deep-seated fear of loss, but it can manifest as a need to dictate every aspect of a partner's life. This can be as overt as deciding who they can see or where they can go, or as subtle as manipulating their choices and decisions. Jealousy, on the other hand, is a complex emotion often rooted in insecurity, fear, and anxiety over an anticipated loss of something highly valued, such as a relationship. It can lead to suspicion, distrust, and unnecessary conflicts, eroding the foundation of trust that a healthy relationship is built upon. Remember, a relationship is about partnership, not ownership. Each partner should feel free to be their own person, while also being part of a loving and supportive duo. Now, let's talk about neglect and lack of support. When we're in a relationship, it's not just about the good times, it's about the tough times too. It's about being there for one another when things get challenging, when life throws curveballs. Neglecting a partner's emotional needs is like ignoring the fact that they are human, that they have feelings and emotions that need to be acknowledged and validated. Imagine a plant that you forget to water. It starts to wilt, its leaves lose their vibrancy, and eventually, it might even die. That's what happens to a relationship when one partner feels neglected or unsupported. It's like a slow and painful wilting of love and connection. In the absence of support, loneliness creeps in. And with loneliness comes resentment, a feeling of being taken for granted, which can be very damaging to a relationship. It's important to remember that in a relationship, it's not just about me or you, it's about us. In a relationship, it's important to be there for each other in times of need. Next on the list are infidelity and breaking promises. These two habits can shatter the very foundation of any relationship: trust. Infidelity, whether emotional or physical, is a clear breach of trust. It's not just about the act itself, but the secrecy and deceit that accompanies it. This can leave the other person feeling betrayed, inadequate, and insecure. And then there's breaking promises. It might seem less severe than infidelity, but its effects can be just as damaging. Each broken promise chips away at trust, making the other person question your reliability and commitment. It's like a slow, painful erosion of faith in the relationship. Just imagine, how would you feel if someone constantly made promises to you only to break them later? It hurts, doesn't it? It creates a cycle of disappointment and resentment that's hard to break. In a relationship, loyalty and keeping one's word are crucial. Remember, trust, once broken, is challenging to rebuild, so do your best to keep your promises and stay faithful. Finally, we have gaslighting and emotional manipulation. These two toxic habits are particularly insidious because they can distort a partner's reality and manipulate their emotions. Imagine this: one partner consistently undermines the other's experiences, making them doubt their own perceptions and feelings. This is gaslighting. It's a form of psychological manipulation where the gaslighter seeks to overwrite another person's reality with their own. Now let's talk about emotional manipulation. This is when a person uses underhanded methods to influence another's decisions and behavior. It could be guilt trips, playing the victim, or even intimidation. Both gaslighting and emotional manipulation are about power and control. They erode trust, breed insecurity, and can be profoundly damaging to a person's mental health. Remember, a healthy relationship thrives on mutual respect, honesty, and open communication. In a relationship, it's important to validate each other's feelings and experiences. Now that we've gone through these 12 toxic habits, let's summarize. From the first, we've learned that lack of communication can be the silent killer of relationships. It creates a gap, a chasm filled with misunderstandings and assumptions. It's akin to walking through a maze blindfolded, inevitably leading to missed connections and strained bonds. Next, we delved into dishonesty. A relationship built on untruths is like a house built on sand, unstable and destined to crumble. Dishonesty erodes trust, the cornerstone of any solid relationship. And without trust, we're left with nothing but doubt and insecurity. We then tackled the issue of lack of respect and constant criticism. No one enjoys feeling belittled or disrespected. When respect is absent and criticism becomes the norm, it chips away at one's self-esteem, making the relationship more of a battlefield than a safe haven. Our journey took us to controlling behavior and jealousy next. These habits can turn a relationship into a prison. The constant need for control and the green-eyed monster of jealousy can suffocate the love, freedom, and individuality that should be the lifeblood of any relationship. The fifth toxic habit we discussed was neglect and lack of support. A relationship is a partnership, and when one party feels neglected or unsupported, it's akin to navigating a stormy sea in a leaky boat. It breeds resentment and loneliness. Infidelity and breaking promises, our seventh point, are two of the most damaging habits. They shatter trust, create deep wounds, and often leave scars that last a lifetime. Finally, we explored gaslighting and emotional manipulation, two sinister habits that can make someone question their reality and self-worth. They're like poison, slowly seeping into a relationship, corroding its foundation. In conclusion, these 12 habits are all toxic to relationships, but recognizing them is the first step to change. It's important to remember that no one is perfect, and we all have the potential to grow and improve. Remember, recognizing these habits is the first step towards building healthier relationships.